Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator news and updates. And we have multiple new aircraft, updates to aircraft, and a big update in regards to the camera add-on ChasePlane from Parallel 42. So stick around. If you are interested in any of my tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, or simply interested in supporting the channel, consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides as well as any future guides that come down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below. So, real quick announcement from the channel here, you guys. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Pacific, that's going to be Wednesday, March the 12th at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be going live. So make sure that you guys pop in and join me. I will be on both YouTube as well as Twitch. In my personal opinion, Twitch is the better one to go simply because the chat is much more responsive. It's easier to basically talk in real time. So I do recommend using Twitch when possible, but if not, you guys can also find me obviously here on YouTube. So let's go ahead and get started with the news now that that's out of the way. I just want to let you guys know. So let's see here. Just Flight has announced that as of March the 13th, so in 2 days, the version 2 for the F28 Professional will be released. Now let's talk about some of the things that the version 2 brings. It will significantly expand the aircraft's navigation autopilot capabilities, having a custom-coded UNS-1 flight management system integrated into the F28 center console, a complete build with nav and GPS selectors and GPS annunciators on the main instrument panel. They've also introduced the GNS 430 as an alternative for RNAV navigation, replacing the larger GNS 530 that was fitted in the original release. Personally, I'm more partial to the GNS 530. I really like the 530. I don't know why. I think it's like that perfect blend between some of the modern capabilities without getting into the full glass screen cockpits. Anyways, so let's keep on talking about what else we got going on here. So version 2 will also see 2 different altitude control options. The more advanced gosh, I can't talk. Altitude pre-select controller, which expands the functionality of the F28's SEP6 autopilot system with an autopilot coupled vertical speeds, altitude arming, altitude hold, and altitude alerting modes. There's also a much more basic altitude alerting system configuration, which offers no autopilot coupling or automatic altitude acquisition. So essentially it will just control the climb for you, but you still have to tell it when to stop. The aircraft's customization options have also been expanded, with the electronic flight bag receiving an upgrade to Just Flight's latest version 3. This includes an improved user interface, boarding and refueling simulation, Navigraph and route charts integration, and numerous other customization options. Additional features include an interactive paper checklist on a rotating clipboard, sun visors for both pilots, alternative fuel gauge measurement units, as well as exterior equipment, toggles, and high-frequency antennas, hush kits, and logo lights. So the highlight here is a custom-coded flight management system, GNS 430 GPS with a working title framework, a new altitude pre-select controller. The EFB has been updated for version 3 for an improved interface, the interactive paper checklist, visors, multiple measurement unit options, as well as multiple autopilot navigation configurations. If you guys are interested, let's go ahead and walk through a few screenshots that might entice you to move on to the F28 Professional. So here's a real quick shot of the navigation system, or the flight management system, excuse me. And then here's the gauges that they were referring to as far as the integration with the GNS 430 without going with the big 530. So it did sort of compact things a bit more. Here's that version 3 of the Just Flight EFB. There's the paper checklists, which I actually really do like when they do this. It just gives it just that tiny bit more immersion. You don't see it very often. Most of them just throw it on the EFB, which is fine, and I get it. There's a lot to consider in those scenarios, so I do understand that. But this is definitely nice to see. There's the visors. Don't know how I feel about the blue. I feel like the blue would be weird. And then again, a few other features and customization options. I like the red light. It's really got that Top Gun 1980s night dimming going on there. And then finally, the pretty bird herself in action. Definitely a cool aircraft. I haven't picked this one up yet just because there's so many on my list, but it's definitely one that I've been wanting to try. If you guys have already owned the F28, let me know in the comments. What do you guys think of it? How do you guys feel about the aircraft? Next up, Latin VFR releases the A321 CEO for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So remember, Latin VFR doesn't go full study level or anything like that, but they're quite a few steps above the default aircraft. So just to set those, I always like to set those expectations, and that comes from Latin VFR. One of my biggest respect points to them was they came out and said that right from the start. So this aircraft is for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and it completes the Airbus CEO family lineup, as they also have the 318, the 319, the 320, and then of course now the 321. So the 321 is a narrow-body twin-engine Airbus, developed obviously part of the 320 family. It's the largest of the variants, has a range of about 3,200 nautical miles, and is ideal for the high-capacity to short, medium-haul routes. So one of the really cool things that I do like what they do is they put a lot of detail into the basics. So things like you're going to have your basic operations, but with a bit more advancements in the avionics. You have your LNAV, you have your VNAV, allowing to fly selected holds, missed approaches, advanced route programming, flight management, full ILS, auto-land capabilities. You still have the ground service equipment. You still have the custom EFB like many of the other aircraft provide. And then you have the aircraft loading. You have the Navigraph and SimBrief integrations and quite a few more features that they tend to add with their aircraft. But one of the things that I really do like about their aircraft, because I'm kind of a graphics snob, is that they do a really good job with their graphics generation. You know, they do really nice work with the modeling. Now, pretty much everyone does. I know that's not a really big kicker these days, but you know, as you guys have seen, there are plenty that don't. But as you guys can see, it is a gorgeous aircraft. My biggest thing, and it sucks because it's one of those, like, they do good work, but I'm so over Airbus right now. We have so many Airbus, but you know, I think over time it'll be nice to know that these are here. So don't get me wrong on that, because you know, we are starting to see more. It's like we were just talking about the Just Flight F28, you know, and then you know, PMDG is releasing more of the Boeing series. You know, we have a few more Citation aircraft coming out. So although the cargo load is nice, I really like that animation. That looks really good. That's kind of dope. So, anyways, we can pick this aircraft up, you guys, from the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 marketplace for $24.99. So again, the price point sort of speaks to what your expectation should be. Now, again, the best way I could describe it, I would say that these aircraft are like between the fly-by-wire A320 and the default A320. You still got a bunch of the bells and whistles, not quite as full and complete and accurately simulated, but definitely enough to keep you busy in the cockpit and a nice introduction into that lineup of aircraft if that's something that you're interested in. Maybe you're on the fence. Maybe you're not sure if you want to go the full-fledged, you know, even the fly-by-wire is pretty advanced at this point. So, you know, maybe you just sort of want to be able to have that option to sort of tool around and play around with a bunch of things and still, you know, have all the features without necessarily having to follow everything down to the letter and the T. This is probably like the aircraft for you. All right, so next up, World Update 19 launched today. So that's going to be Brazil, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana. And with that, the bigger part of this is that the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 marketplace has launched. However, as always, guys, and you guys know that where we're at with 2024, lots of things still to be fixed. So be cautious when you hit the marketplace. Load 1 or 2 items at a time, test them, make sure that they're not game breaking. Watch for the indicators on the marketplace. You have green, which means supported. I can't remember. Red means, I think, not supported, or not officially supported, I should say. And then if there's nothing there tracking, that means it's neither supported or not supported. Test on your own. Okay, so be cautious with the marketplace in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Take your time. Make sure that things are working correctly before you just go dropping all of your add-ons in. Otherwise, if you have a crash, you may find yourself spending a whole bunch of time trying to figure out which one it is. So one item at a time is my recommendation to you guys as you move forward with that. So speaking of fixes, let's go ahead and talk about Sim Update 2, which is also under the way. So the things that we can expect from Sim Update 2, and this is the one that I'm really hopeful for. I'm glad Sim Update 1 is hit, but Sim Update 2 is what I'm looking for. Performance is supposed to be a big hitter with Sim Update 2. Virtual reality is supposed to be addressed. Camera views, flight assist, career mode improvements. These are all things that are planned for Sim Update 2, which is why I am holding off. I'm still in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, but I'm not dedicating a whole lot of effort into it until, like I said, in previous videos, that I want to see it sort of mature a bit more. So keep that in mind. And also, there will be a developer live stream on March the 14th, 2025, that you can tune on the Microsoft Flight Simulator Twitch channel and submit questions live to them on that time as well. So make sure that you guys take a look out for that. Flight Sim Studio has pushed out a new, very large update for their Boeing 727 freighter. I'm going to go through a few of these just to sort of give you guys an idea on sort of how all over the place they want, but it is a very extensive changelog. I recommend you guys checking it out on their website as well. But the radio altimeter dial bug has been fixed, ADI deflection logic updated, fixed fuel cross-feed logic, fixed fuel feeding while the pumps are off, tank 3 isolated from the rest of the fuel system, window and pitot heat logic has been addressed, bleed switches, pneumatic system reworked, lights and alerting systems reworked, ground roll sounds incorrect has been fixed. They have a new autopilot system implementation, very similar and accurate to the real world aircraft of the time. Remember that the modern digital avionics system wasn't really a thing then, so it was a very unique system on how the autopilot worked there. Ground roll wrong triggers, gear door lights on the ground. This flap animation snapping has been fixed. Clock and logic has been updated. Window heat functionality updated. Fixed engine start and shutdown sounds missing on the external view. I probably didn't even read half of them, you guys. So if you guys are big fans of the Boeing 727, I do recommend picking this one up. I have flown this one. We are going to start introducing it to the channel. It is actually one that I have a guide that is in the works for, since it's a bit of the older aircraft. It's a little more challenging to put it together, but that is another one that is actually in mid-works as we speak. And that's sort of what I've been holding off for. So this one I do have. It's a fantastic aircraft. They've done a wonderful job, and this last update was very significant. So again, if you guys want to check that aircraft out, you can find it on Flight Sim Studios website, and you can also purchase it, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yes, via the Contrail app for £28.74. So make sure that you guys head on over there and pick up your copy if you are interested in this aircraft. Again, I promise it is a really well done plane. It's a lot of fun to fly. Bit more challenging because you don't have a lot of the modern avionics, but definitely fun if you're willing to take the dive. All right, so you guys knew that ChasePlane is an absolutely amazing piece of software. So for those of you who don't know, ChasePlane is probably one of the best camera systems that has existed in flight simulation. It gives you an endless number of custom cockpit and external camera views that you can set, flyby views, cinematic views, landing views, you name it. It does a ton. It was extremely popular in FSX and P3D, and Parallel 42 was trying really hard to get Microsoft to give them access to it during 2020, and they didn't up until recently. So the big things to understand is that on the Parallel 42's website, they have a tutorial video. There's also a bunch of videos like this that sort of give you demonstrations of how things go and how it works. So if you guys are interested in some of the features, I mean, it's everything from head shakes to sort of GoPro style. I mean, you're seeing a lot of the actions right here. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, there's sort of like the disclaimer here says there aren't any camera movements here. This is all just exactly how ChasePlane operates on its own. You can create a pan view, for example, that will automatically pan or automatically pull up to the plane. It's endless. It's so cool. I cannot wait to get my hands on this. So let's start talking about price. First off, there's absolutely zero subscription, zero extra features that can be purchased for this software. It's a $30 US purchase once and once only, and you get access to the whole shebang. Now, on the initial release is supported for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, as 2024 is not yet ready to go. However, if you purchase it on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and once it becomes available for 2024, you will automatically have your copy of it. Now, let's move on to the next part. The release date for Club 42 members will be released on March the 14th, 2025 at 11:42 Central Standard Time. This celebrates and coincides with the start of FS Weekend happening in Lelystad. Now, Club 42 is a group of people who have spent $42 or more on the Parallel 42 website. So if you have already done, now that is lifetime purchases. If you own an account on Parallel 42's website and you have at any point in total reached $42 of expenditure on their site, you are automatically a Club 42 member. If you are not and you are interested, go buy $42 worth of crap. And that's the thing, their stuff is actually a lot of fun. They have a bunch of really cool aircraft. They have a bunch of really awesome things that are available on their site. Some really great, especially if you're into bush trips and you like to fly out in the middle of nowhere, their sceneries are on par. You can set up different campsites and different sort of environments for you to sort of land into that make it a bit more fun. Their Kit Fox aircraft is a ton of fun and very, very feature rich. An amazing STOL aircraft. If that's something you're interested in, there's a lot of ways on their website to reach $42. The product flow that they have is a wonderful add-on tool that gives you very easy and smooth navigation that can be customized throughout the different UI options within Microsoft Flight Simulator. So it goes on and on. There's trust me, you can very quickly spend $42. And then on the 14th, that would give you access to the ChasePlane once it releases. So anyway, I am super, super excited for this, you guys. If you guys have not checked this one out yet, I highly recommend that you guys take a look at this because it is super, super cool. Again, one of the other really cool things is, like, for example, a head tracking sort of camera that would move the way your head really would in the real plane. Gives you a very natural feel. It's much easier and much smoother to create things like cockpit touring or cabin touring views, right? So like if you were, I don't know, let's say you're at cruise and you want to hit a camera view where it sort of simulated you just walking down the cabin or something like that, maybe finding your seat. This is something that you can create inside of ChasePlane. It's a really, really awesome piece of software, you guys. I loved using this in the past. Anyways, I sort of went on tangent about ChasePlane. I'm really excited for this one if you guys can't tell. So, as always, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you found it useful. Leave your questions, comments, loves, lives, laughs, shaved cats down in the comments below. And as always, folks, stay safe and healthy. I'll see you in the next one.